The KCBD Investigates team has video evidence surrounding the murder of a Texas Tech police officer. This is footage that never left the courtroom until now. KCBD News Channel 11's investigative reporter Shaylee Kidwell has covered this case for 6 years and joins us now with something the public has never seen and why it took so long to release the videos. Shaylee.
Karen, shortly after Floyd East Jr.'s murder in October 2017, the court issued a news media gag order. It prevented those directly involved in the case from releasing any information like reports, body camera videos, and dash camera videos. When the trial started earlier this year, we were not allowed to record anything inside the courtroom. Now that the trial is over, we have the video evidence presented to the jury that better explains how this tragedy happened. And while we are not going to show the shooting itself, this video may still be difficult to watch.
Tech 635. Tech 635. Tech 635. Unit 635, Officer Floyd East Jr., badge number 635. End of watch, October 9th, 2017. Thank you for your service. Godspeed.
For years, we've known how this story ends.
Got an officer down. He shot in our briefing room. We don't know where the suspect went.
Now, we have the missing pages.
The PD is not secure.
Roughly 19 hours before that deadly shooting, around 1 a.m. on October 9th, 2017.
Hey, what's going on, man?
We see Hollis Daniels III on body camera video for the first time.
You any weapons like that on you, man?
No.
You care if I pat you down real quick?
Yeah.
The Lubbock police officer testified he stopped Daniels because he'd been accused of stealing his friend's gun earlier that night. The officer doesn't find a weapon. Then another officer arrives.
Here, if we search your vehicle?
Yes, sir. I kind of do.
Thanks, sir. You don't want us to search your vehicle?
Yeah, but not because I don't have a gun. I just don't. I don't have consent to that. It's not necessary. I'm on the way home.
No, it is necessary because right now you're involved in an investigation.
The officers never search his vehicle.
I'm gonna cut you loose, man.
And eventually, Daniels is allowed to leave.
You can carry on with your night, man. Get home safe, buddy.
So why didn't officers get a warrant to search his vehicle? It's a question then Lubbock Police Chief Greg Stevens addressed days later in a news conference.
There was not enough probable cause to search it on its own, nor to get a warrant for the vehicle. They thought there might be perhaps even drugs in the vehicle. They looked into whether or not a drug dog was available to come and sniff the vehicle, and there was not one available.
In the trial, Daniels told the jury the stolen gun was sitting in his vehicle the whole time. Daniels testified that after this stop, he returned to his dorm room at Talkington Hall, where he unintentionally fired the gun. His roommates reported hearing the gunshot to University Police.
Texas Tech Police Department.
This is body camera video of the welfare check Texas Tech police officers conducted. Officer Floyd East Jr. waits for an answer, but no one comes to the door. Officers check his room and find a bullet hole in his wall, and this.
There's a pipe and another baggie, and there's more Xanax.
Daniel shows up, but pretends to be his roommate.
What's your name? Andreas. No, it's not.
Texas Tech police officer Tyler Snelson pats Daniels down and doesn't find any weapons. Officer East explains the reason behind the welfare check.
We got a report of a gunshot last night.
A gunshot?
And that's what we got a report of. So we came in here, make sure everyone's okay for a welfare check to make sure.
Yeah.
So what happened last night?
There was no gunshot.
While Daniels denies firing a gun, he does admit the pills and drug paraphernalia officers found in his room are his.
Am I under arrest, sir?
Officer East handcuffs Daniels, pats him down, and walks him to his patrol vehicle. This is dash camera video of that short ride from Talkington Hall to the Texas Tech Police Department.
I'll be transferring 1-1 mail. If you're trying to ditch anything or get rid of anything, I'm going to check it back there before we take you, so.
Oh, yeah, no, you're good.
What was that big thump?
Oh, my handcuffs.
Officer East walks Daniels into the department and eventually uncuffs him. Officer Snelson testified it's not uncommon for officers to remove the handcuffs if the subject is cooperative. Officer East and Daniels are left alone in the briefing room as Officer East completes booking paperwork. Daniels asks Officer East 3 questions before he pulls out a gun and fires that deadly shot.
You have a family at home? Yep. How many kids? Pretty old?
A life taken in an instant by a student the officer had just met. Even after watching these body camera videos, it's still not obvious how Daniels cleared 2 pat-downs. In 2018, on the 1-year anniversary of Officer East's death, we sat down with Texas Tech Police Chief Kyle Boneth.
The number one question is, how did Hollis Daniels get that gun from the dorm room into the police department? And what's being done to make sure that that can't happen again?
Our officers conduct themselves in a professional manner. Everything that should have been done was done. This is a very unique situation that I think once trial comes will be made more clear. There's only one person that can tell you how that occurred with absolute certainty, and that's the suspect himself.
More than 5 years after the shooting, when Daniels took the stand, he answered that question. He took the jury back to this pat-down in his dorm room. He testified the stolen gun was in the front waistband of his pants. Daniels testified, quote, "My pants were sagging. He pulled my pants up and the gun slipped out of my waist." Daniels said with each pat, the gun fell farther down his pant leg. He said, quote, "It seemed like every time his hands hit, he barely missed it." Daniels also explained this.
I'll be transferring 1 male.
He testified that thud was the gun falling out of his pants. Handcuffed in the back of Officer East's patrol vehicle, Daniels managed to get to the gun and hide it in his pants again. Daniels sat uncuffed next to Officer East for a total of 28 minutes. We've fast-forwarded the video. Notice how often Daniels reaches for the bottom of his right pant leg, maneuvering the gun. At 7:40 p.m., we see the grip of the gun clearly for the first time. Daniels pulls the trigger 4 minutes later. After the shooting, Daniels ran. Texas Tech went into lockdown as law enforcement officers from multiple agencies descended on campus. Less than 2 hours later, they found Daniels and took him into custody. Since that day, university officials have made security changes to campus. We'll share some of those with you, along with an interview with Carmen East, Officer East's widow. She has a way you can honor her husband's memory while helping other officers. That's coming up tomorrow at 10 when we continue to investigate End of Watch. Karen.